meters of water was constructed. The distribution network was extended by constructing 3.8 kilometers of Nairobi line from Namanga interchange at EBZ and an additional 6.2 kilometers to Greenpark Estate along the Mombasa Road, which also incorporated a 4,000 cubic reservoir and a 3,000 cubic capacity tank of 15 meters high, still elevated, and pumping station. Finally, the bulk supply system was reinforced and rehabilitated. The null to raise water supply line, installing a new pump and repairing 3 existing pumps in Salama Pumping Station 1 and the refurbishing of Kimakiu and the Lukenya reservoirs, each with a capacity of 3,000 cubic meters of water per day. The system is currently operational, Mr. Speaker, and being operated by Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company. The company supplies water from the system up to 200,000 connections. On question number 2, Mr. Speaker, the report of the steps taken by the ministry to ensure the completion of the project and expected timelines for its completion. The project was completed on 21st March 2021 and commissioned on 14th April 2023. Therefore, the construction status is 100% complete. And the project was handed over to to Machakos County Government, and it is being operated by Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company in line with the provisions of Water Act 2016. Currently, the project provides at least 10,000 cubic meters a day of water from a new water treatment plant and 5,000 of water from the Northern Collector Tunnel connected earlier this year to the residents in a mix of domestic, commercial and industrial area around Mavoko. Honorable Speaker, the areas governed includes Mololongo, at the river, the EBZ zone, Shokimau, Kenanye, Katani and parts of Lukenya areas. Question number 3, the interim measures being taken by the ministry to address the water scarcity faced by the residents and protect them from the unscrupulous water vendors. Mr. Speaker, the agency notes that Mavoko and Shokimau areas currently face a severe water scarcity due to lack of water and last mile connectivity, which is supposed to be done by the county government of Machakos through Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company. To address the water scarcity, the agency is currently implementing the Mavoko Water and Sewerage interventions and the extension of pipeline project, which is a last mile intervention project through the government of Kenya, funding with a funding estimated to cost about 585 million. The project is currently at 1% complete, having already spent 183 million and requires a government funding of 402 million to complete. The last mile project aims to connect about 50,000 households and increase the access of 250,000 residents in Shokimau, Mlolongo and the river. Honorable Speaker, the scope of Mavoko Water and Sewerage intervention is the extension of the pipeline project, includes the 50-kilometer water distribution line ranging from 63 mm to 250 mm diameters of pipe, linking to about 60-kilometer sewer lines ranging from 200 to 600. The rehabilitation works for existing water supply and sewerage infrastructure, the provisions of water exhaust trucks to provide a technical assistance also to Mavoko water supply. However, this project is faced with the frequent extensions and completion dates due to the delays in exchequer, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in addition, the ministry through the Nati Water Works Development Agency is preparing the Mavoko Kitengela last mile connectivity project, which aims to increase the number of households connected to water to an estimated amount of 592 million. And it is currently under the consideration and funding by the national government. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, The Ministry of Water and Sanitation and Education through the Tanatu Water Works Development Agency is committed to ensure a sufficient, a reliable, a sustainable water supply system for Mulolongo, Athi River, the EVZ areas, the Syokimau, Kenanie, Katani, and parts of Lugenya, the Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, as a chair of the committee, I want to confirm that even as we go to the financial year 2025-2026, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, after recess, we are going to visit. We are going to visit the area of Mavoko and the Syokimau area, Honorable Speaker, to assess the situation, because already there is a contractor who was given some work. About 183 million is been utilized, and we are seeking to increase the resources, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that the houses or the community around that area have access to water. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The MP for Machakos, Madam Kamene Joyce.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, yes, they have answered the question, but they have not given any timelines, any commitment. Because if this project has taken 10 years, and you have done such a great project, you're being told water is in the tanks, and you're next door, and you cannot access any water. And it is there year after year. How is it that exchequer is not being released, money is insufficient, and you did such a big, wonderful project like this? People are suffering from water. Why can't it be given a priority? Because this is revenue. After all, when you start supplying water to the residents around, revenue will be collected. Does it make any sense to make this a white elephant?
Fair enough. Hang on a minute, let Kemei also weigh in on that. You will answer that. Let Kemei weigh on that also.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the woman rep for this statement, or this statement to this committee. As much as I appreciate what the chairperson has given concerning Mafoko and the areas, the environs, Honorable Speaker, I live in Syokimau, and for sure, water is very scarce. The residents get water using donkeys, and private vendors exploit the people. So, when the chairperson here has said that the ministry is actually going to do the last mile connectivity, this has been the case for the last over 10 years, 15 years. Yet, we pay taxes, or people pay taxes for the same. People pay what is expected of them, not to forget the sewerage, Honorable Speaker. So I feel this answer is not sufficient. There are no timelines the way the county MP has said. It is like there is no seriousness that is given to it, Honorable Speaker.
Fair enough, the Honorable Bowen. The issue is this has been ongoing for 10 good years. Can you be definitive about the exact timeline when the residents of Mavoko are going to enjoy that massive government investment?
The Honorable Speaker, number one, I want to say, Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we take our work very seriously. Number two, Honorable Speaker, water is a devolved function, especially the last mile connectivity. Mr. Speaker, the national government, through the Water Development Agency, and in this case through the DANATI, they have done the pipeline, the tanks, the dams, and everything. And they were handed over, or the project was handed over to Machakos County government, which is now currently managed by Mavoko Water Supply. It is Mavoko Water Supply through the county government of Machakos to do the last mile connectivity. And Mr. Speaker, Like that one is not enough, we have also taken a position as a committee, and we have asked the ministry now that the county government don't have that capacity and they don't have the resources. Mr. Speaker, we are also seeking to support the county government, because the people who are there, the people who live in Syokimau, the people who live in Kananie, Katania, and those areas, they are also Kenyans who are paying taxes. And we are going to take a deliberate action. And I've said here, Mr. Speaker, that this financial year, 2025-2026, we are going to provide resources to help Mavoko water supply and Machakos County government to do the last mile connectivity for the people around there.
This financial year?
Which is going
to be from June?
Yes.
Fair enough. That's a very firm undertaking, and it's a presumption of the chair that you have already done your work very well. I don't see any more interest in this other than the Honorable, yes. Is it on the same? Yes. What is your issue?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Water supply management across Kenya, all counties being a devolved function, is the problem. It lacks in every county. People are suffering clean, safe water to drink, and the counties look like they do not understand what to do in that sector. We would love all the governors to take this issue seriously, not just Mavoko, even Busia, where I come from. Women travel miles and miles seeking for the same, seeking for water, which ends up bringing up other issues like girls being raped in forests because of this issue. So water is a devolved function, and we need to task the governors to do something about it. Pipe water every month into some homes. At the end of 5 years, we'll have so many homes getting piped water and safe to drink at the same time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On the same? Madam Rachel Nyamai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for also giving me a chance to make a comment, and especially on the matter that is being raised by the Honorable Kamene. And I fully feel her that when a project takes 10 years and people have not benefited, it stops being useful, Honorable Speaker. As much as we put those budgets every financial year, in the corridors of power, Honorable Speaker, the chair, Water, has told us that he believes that projects that are useful in this country are those small projects that are implemented within 1 year or within 2 years, and they are completed and people have access to water. So, Honorable Speaker, because the budget for water is not, it's high. And I think it is important to know that sometimes the committee's hands are tied. I'm not in that committee, but I'm a friend of the chair. And he tells me that you find your hands are tied. You have to deal with WAKE, billions and billions and billions. You have to deal with that particular project, billions and billions of shillings. You find yourselves dealing with another project in Tana River. What is it called? Kulalu Galana, billions and billions and billions. But when you look at projects that the committee funds in 1 year, we have dams. The other day he gave us 2 dams in my constituency, and people are taking water. And they are small projects of 20, 30 million up to 100 million. But talking about billions of Wake Dam and expecting this to be a project of Machakos, Makueni and Kitui. And where we are, for example, in Kitui South, we are 150 kilometers from where that dam is. Billions and billions of shillings will keep going to those huge projects, and the committee doesn't have much control. But we'll keep financing, sorry to say, to the benefit of others. Thank you.
I think there being no further interest on this, we'll go to the next response. The Energy Committee, the statement that was sought by the Honorable Dr. Ojambo Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
It is true, Honorable Speaker, we have a statement from the committee which was sent by the PS, the Principal Secretary in charge of energy. And I know Honorable Odo is around. I've gone through the statement, Honorable Speaker. One of the questions that was raised is the regulatory framework under which Kudura Power East Africa Limited is operating, generating and supplying water in Western Kenya. Honorable Speaker, the response to that is that Kudura Power East Africa Limited is duly incorporated in the Republic of Kenya as a wholly owned subsidiary of RVE, a Portuguese company. Kudura is a social enterprise focused on providing decentralized renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure solutions to undeserved counties in East Africa. This company focuses on empowering rural and peri-urban areas by addressing critical needs such as clean energy, water access, and sanitation, aligning with the global sustainable development goals, particularly SDG 7, that is affordable and clean energy, and also SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. Kudura specializes in integrated system that combines solar energy, water purification, and biogas technology. The company operates under Section 117 of the Energy Act that provides, and I quote, that is Section 117, a person who wishes to carry out generation, exportation, so Honorable Speaker, exportation, importation, transmission, distribution, and retail supply of electricity must apply for a license, as the case may be, to the authority in accordance with the provisions of this Act. Kudura Power East Africa Limited was granted a construction permit by EPRA on the 3rd April 2019 for a period of 1 year for the development of the 10 solar PV mini-grids as listed in Table 1. Honorable Speaker, I hope Honorable Udo has his, under the table is detailed therein. Before approval of the aforementioned construction permit, Kudura submitted the following documents required for generation, distribution, and supply licenses in accordance with the Energy Act 2019 and the Energy Electricity License Regulations of 2012. Again, here in listed from A all the way. These are the documents, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to go through, that are required for purposes of getting a license. Question number 2, Honorable Speaker. The agreement on lease granted to Kudura to impose tariffs on power supplied and steps being taken to regulate such charges. On the 25th of March 2020, EPRA granted Kudura generation, distribution, and supply license for operation of the 10 solar PV mini-grids as indicated in Table 1. Section 11C of the Energy Act 2019 mandates EPRA to set, review, and adjust electric power tariffs and tariff structures and investigate tariff charges, whether or not a specific application has been made or for a tariff adjustment. The approved tariffs shall be just and reasonable tariffs which enable a license, including Kudura Power, to inter alia, 1, maintain its financial integrity, 2, attract capital, 3, operate efficiently, and lastly, compensate investors fully for the risk assumed. Section 165, subsection 7 of the Energy Act 2019 and the current retail electricity tariff review guidelines of 2023 provide for a review of retail electricity tariffs once every 3 years. Section 163 of the Energy Act 2019 requires that the tariffs and the contracts for supplying electrical energy and network supplies be submitted to EPRA for approval before execution. Kudura tariffs application for the 10 sites in Busia County, Western Kenya, was approved by EPRA board on the 30th January 2019, having met all the tariff approval requirements. Question number 3, timelines within which Kudura will upgrade their infrastructure to ensure continuous and uninterrupted supply of power to house states. The response is that the solar mini-grids can become unreliable during the rainy season, primarily due to the following: reduced solar resilience, radiance that could significantly reduce the electricity generated between 10 to 25% of the peak performance. B, during extended cloudy, rainy periods, battery may not fully charge, leading to shortages, especially at night or during the peak demand. And C, sometimes power demand increase during rainy seasons, e.g. for lighting or indoor activities, putting more pressure on the already limited generation capacity. The mitigations for that, Honorable Speaker, is that the inverters that were previously problematic have been replaced. 2, the operator to strengthen their distribution network and work towards replacing all defective storage batteries, especially the Buyende area, within a month. And 3, EPRA has instructed the operator to develop a strategy to enhance power supply reliability during cloudy periods and submit a report on this to the authority within 2 weeks. And 4, EPRA will send a technical team to the sites for further probe on issues raised and come up with a detailed report. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, question number 4, a report on the terms of agreement between Kudura East African Power Limited and the government, including whether the terms are subject to review to allow alternative service provider to supply power alongside Kudura. The response is that, Honorable Speaker, Section 165(7) of the Energy Act of 2019 and the current retail electricity tariff review guidelines of 2023 provide for a review of retail electricity tariffs once every 3 years. Therefore, Kudura is required for the aforesaid provisions of the law to submit a tariff review every 3 years upon the expiry of the approved tariff, subject to review and approval by the authority. 2, the generation and distribution license were given for 10 years commencing in 2020, and hence Kudura is remaining with about 5 years within which they ought to have recovered their investment, after which the terms will be renegotiated or the site handed over